Today we are going to talk about a fragrance that's inspired by a frag from the house of Louis Vuitton. Can you guess what it is? It's a freshie. Strap up, let's go for a ride. All right, you are rocking with me in the scent bubble. I am your host for the night, and today we are talking about a fragrance that's inspired by none other than Imagination from Louis Vuitton. Imagination, for those of you who don't know, is a very fresh, citrus-based fragrance that, to be quite honest, a lot of the Louis Vuitton frags, they're good, man. They're not super complex, but the ingredients they use have certain nuance to them that just give their freshies specifically a lot of really good kind of just flair. Upscale freshie with charm, freshie with super charm and uniqueness. They have similar note DNAs as a lot of other fragrances, but they'll change it on you. Instead of regular lemon, they'll be like, this is, such and such lemon. Instead of ginger, it'll be, such and such ginger. They're just stepping out of the box a little bit to kind of nuance, and I'm sure using high quality ingredients because, the Louis Vuitton fragrances go for $200-300. This fragrance does not go for $200-300. This fragrance goes from anywhere south of $35. I nabbed it for less than $20. Can you guess where I got it? If you've been on my channel for a while, I'm not capping at all when I say I've gotten the last 15 frags I've gotten, period, from the TikTok shop, because it is absolutely nuts. I don't think it'll always be that way, but for this season of my life, they are dishing out some incredible deals I cannot look past. And while many of you are sitting there saying to yourselves, oh, I've got fragrancebuy.ca and I go here, I go to Joma Shop and all this, you are not getting better deals than me, point blank period. Right now, I've not spent more than $20 for an inspired frag for the 100 to 200 ml category. So I'm sorry to tell you, I already did a video on this. Go check out the TikTok video. It's got hundreds of views. People know I'm not lying. But anyway, on with the show. This is from the house of Emperor. Let me look at this. Yeah, Emperor. And it is Intimation for men. Eau de Parfum. I'm going to put this up to the camera, even though it's not going to autofocus. This is a big bottle, guys. Not 100 ml. This is 120 ml. It is a fat bottle. I don't know why, but are you guys like me in that you thought you would press this black top and it would just have like a mister inside of there that you could just... Nope, it's not the case. This is not a magnetic top, but it is very secure. I wouldn't recommend that you do this, but I'm pretty confident in that it sticks. It's almost like plastic on metal, so the plastic kind of grips it. But, the cap's very cheap, but it's sturdy and it's reliable, and it pops off to this top right here. Intimation, inspired by Imagination. It's a good fragrance. I'm going to come out and tell you guys that this fragrance is worth an episode because of how good it is, but it is not the best Imagination clone. In its own right, though, it's absolutely phenomenal. Not just for the fact that for less than $35, you get 120 ml of a beautiful, fresh fragrance. If you are in predominantly warm weather, you cannot walk away from this fragrance unless you're going to get the better clone. But I strongly feel that for 120 ml, this really competes with the other fragrance that I'm going to talk about later on. At the end of the episode, I will bring up the fragrance that I think is superior to this to Imagination. But if this is all that you had, because both are very difficult to find at times for a good price, you would be not upset about it. Fresh, I don't want to say aquatic, but fresh, watery, airy, crisp citruses. In a nutshell, that's what it is. There might be some white florals in there. It's got to be some ginger, but it's like this ginger citrus dominant fragrance with a touch of floral. I'm not sure what it's sitting on in the backbone, but let's go ahead and switch screens here and see what's going on, because it seems very simple to me. They don't have this fragrance listed on Fragrantica because it's not kind of your off nons or your, Lattafas or anything like that. It seems like a pretty niche house. Emperor Intimation for Men here. As you can see on Amazon, it's going for $35. I wouldn't get it here unless you have Amazon Prime shipping. Head notes is going to be Calabrian Bergamot, which is just citrus, Sicilian orange. They duplicated the text here. Nigerian ginger, Tunisian neroli, you know, that kind of fresh floral. Cinnamon, and then in the base note, Chinese black tea, ambroxan, olibanum, and gaiac wood. So a little touch of wood in there. Tea, you know, it's just pleasant. This is the actual fragrance Imagination, which people absolutely love. And as you can see, they did not steer away from the DNA of the original. So one thing you can do is, even if you can't find a description for this fragrance, you can certainly just look at Imagination's notes and know that this Emperor Intimation fragrance copies it. You know, for how good this smells, I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm really not understanding why more people haven't done fragrance review videos on this, because in the freshy citrus category for clones, dupes, and inspireds, this has got to be at least top 10 for in the clone category. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can hold a candle to Bulgari's Tiger. Tarathi Blue. It can hold a candle to all of the Elysium clones. It can hold a candle to any of the Calvin Klein fragrances. It can hold a candle to anything from Banana Republic. It can hold a candle to any of the Club de Nuit line that's a freshie. Offnon, Lattafa. You know, this can hold a candle to Sacrat. I mean, it is a good fragrance. Now you got one thing you guys got to understand is that in the longevity category, you know, you're not going to get a ton of longevity, but you're going to get decent projection and sillage on the beast mode rating. You know, I'm eventually going to put sound effects down here so I can let you guys know each category that we're deciphering. But, you know, in the projection and sillage category, I'd give it maybe about a 5 or a 6. You can't expect much out of a freshie. There are some fragrances that are above average, you know, Paris Corner Celestial, Tarathi Blue's pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain fragrances that have a certain note and they just, you know, the oil concentration or whatever, they get more beast mode out of it. But typically from a freshie, you're getting a 5 or 6 rating on beast mode anyway. But that's okay. You know, freshies are meant to be used multiple times throughout the day, or bring a travel spray, or just do 10 sprays on yourself and call it a day, man. So just again, to reiterate, this fragrance copies the DNA of Imagination in terms of having citrus up top, mostly orange-based citrus. I do get that, but it does smell like a little bit of a citrus melody. It's not traditional orange. It smells like a citrus medley orange. And what I mean by that is that the orange doesn't smell generic. It smells somewhat tropical. It's nice and fresh. I'm going to give this another spray because I really want to see the opening to the dry down again. I get the neroli. I get the ginger. The only thing I really don't get with this fragrance is cinnamon, to be honest with you. Other than that, the Chinese black tea, I certainly get a tea note in here. Ambroxan, Gaiac Wood, Olibanum, just pushing that fragrance to give it a little bit of backbone. But yeah, guys, in a nutshell, orange, you know, special kind of orange, neroli, ginger, black tea. I mean, I was just talking to my homie from church about this today, man. I think people overlook the simplicity of a beautiful fragrance. We're always trying to look for standout notes and beast mode and blah, 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 blah. I'm in Arizona, man. Freshies reigns supreme in Arizona. It is always north of 80 degrees here. Always. Almost year round. Freshies run my fragrance collection. Yes, I like spice. Yes, I like holiday. Yes, I like, you know, yeah, I mean, just cold weather fragrances. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me when I say I want to wear my Grand Soir. I want to wear my Cedrat. I want to wear Fire Your Desire, the Angel Share, you know, the Vintage Radio. You know what I'm saying? The Born in Roma. Like, but you just, it's Arizona. You know what I'm saying? But I really do like this fragrance, guys. I don't want to talk it up too much. I want to keep the video around the 10-minute mark. 120 ml. In summary, I got the fragrance for under 20 bucks. You should too. Go on the TikTok shop. It is somewhat hard to find, but not on TikTok. It's harder to find on like Fragrance Buy and all those places because it's just kind of not really a super popular house. I imagine they would carry this in like TJ Maxx or something, but I've never seen it. But yeah, you could certainly get it on the TikTok shop, eBay, and Amazon. And it's just an incredible freshie. You know, citrus medley up top, predominantly this kind of unique orange, neroli, ginger, black tea. Like, bro, what are we talking about here? You know that's going to be good before you even order it. The longevity on it, I would say you're probably going to get 4 or 5 hours at best. You're going to want to re-spruce, but you have 120 ml. Take it with you. Travel size it. You know, blast yourself 10, 20 times with this and let it rock. You know, this fragrance is really not intimidating at all. You can get away with going 10 sprays on this, and as long as you let some air pass through you through the day and you let some of those sprays be on clothes and not everything on skin, you'll be straight, bro. This is absolutely, you know, freshy with charm. I'm going to call it a freshie with charm. I don't want to go above that because it is a cheaper type of fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does have some standout notes and whatnot, but, you know, it is inspired by fragrance. So I'm not going to sit here and act like it's a showstopper in the category of freshie, but you're definitely going to smell unique. Not a lot of people are going to smell like you. Not a lot of people have this fragrance. When you even think of clones, dupes, and inspired, again, go on YouTube and look this fragrance up. You're going to see a bunch of foreigners talking about this fragrance. When I look this fragrance up, I think there's like one American talking about this fragrance. The rest are Hispanic, European. They got their hands on this a lot more than Americans do right now. It's kind of crazy, but you know, you might catch people talking about it in some forums or something. Ageless fragrance, top to bottom, teenager to old man. This is a lovely fragrance. Definitely masculine. You know, let's see. Are they saying that this is... No, it is a fragrance for men. You know, it's so funny, certain fragrances that they say are unisex and then certain ones they call a man fragrance. I would have thought they would have called this a unisex fragrance, but they're not. They're saying it's a for men fragrance. But women can wear this too. Citruses, ginger, and tea. Come on, ladies. You can rock that as well. But it definitely can come off masculine, guys. I'm not trying to say if, as a man, you're going to come off somewhat feminine or unisex, but I'm just saying, like, this can fit and accommodate whoever wears it. 120 ml, ageless fragrance, typically spring, summer, where it shines. However, you can rock this in cold weather without question. So we're going to call this any season, any reason. Casual, gym, if you're in school, work day, you know, casual day with the missus or the mister, you know, date night for sure. Absolutely. Like, sometimes a date night can, in terms of fragrance, can be, instead of being a showstopper, just being really classy. You know, nice note of orange, tea. It definitely has some uniqueness. It's not a showstopper. It's just not a projective, in your face, look at me, I'm the man kind of fragrance, but it certainly is a, hey, I'm classy, I'm fresh, I'm about my business type of swag to it. So I would say any season, any reason. You know what I mean? You could dress it up, dress it down. It will accommodate you. Ageless, like I said before, situations, compliment factor. I think you could get compliments in this. I mean, y'all know, anyone who rocks Louis Vuitton Imagination, you're going to get compliments. So you can absolutely get compliments here too. I'm done pulling the cap off of this. It smells amazing. I'm going to get my last whiff on the test strip. Guys, get your nose on this fragrance, man, especially if you're getting it south of 20 bucks on the TikTok shop. This is going to be an incredible addition to your freshies category. It will be reminiscent of other freshies on your shelf, but for 120 ml and getting that Chinese black tea and that different touch of orange on there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the neroli edition, you're definitely going to get a fragrance that you love to pick up, blind grab, blind buy, just grab, blast yourself, and be excited about the day. Very fresh and just vibrant. You know what I'm saying? So hope you guys enjoyed anything about this fragrance. Do you have it? If you have it, make a video on YouTube about it. It'll probably get a lot of views because not a lot of people are talking about this fragrance. Oh, which reminds me, guys, the better fragrance but it is more expensive. It sits more around the $30 to $50 range. But again, I found it on TikTok Shop for like 25 bucks. This right here, if you want the most accurate clone to Imagination, it is Sahib Intense. Look at the color of the bottle because they have a couple of variations. This 70 ml ish bottle is it 70 ml? This is the closest. This reigns supreme in terms of closeness. It's got a slightly different facet, but let me just tell you, these two are very, very, very close. There's not even a quality difference between the two. Both are quality. It's just this fragrance takes it in a slightly different direction towards the citruses. I feel like this fragrance this fragrance I feel leans a little more in the black tea ginger realm. But in the oil concentration's a little bit deeper, a little bit richer, even though I think this one might be more projective. So you don't lose by getting either one of these fragrances. If you want closeness, you go here. If you want the most maximum ml, a little more projection, you go with this one. You want a little more citrus, you go with this one. You want a little more tea and ginger and neroli, you go here. You want a little denser fragrance, you go here. I'm going to do a separate episode right after this one on this individually. And down the road, we will do a this versus this where I'll talk about it in a lot more depth. But you don't lose getting either of these two fragrances. Sahib Intense and what is it? Emperor Intimation Eau de Parfum. So this is an episode about this fragrance, and it's an absolute banger. Hope you guys have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.